Alright, so the last of the MCN1 Lec topics is on growth and development. Okay, and we deal with growth and development, differentiating what is growth versus development. Una, growth is something that is quantitative in change. Development is something that is qualitative in change. Some children grow, but they do not develop. Some children develop, but they do not grow. Normally, growth and development should occur simultaneously. Alright? Ngayon, we focus more on the development aspect of children. Alright? And when we deal with the development aspect of children, we deal and we have to recall the different nursing theorists, or I mean the different theories of development affecting also the nursing theories. Alright? Just a review. Si Sigmund Freud, ang theory niya is about the psychosexual theory. Ibig sabihin, para sa kanya, ang children nagde-develop kasi at a particular point in his or her life, fixated siya sa isang body organ. At kapag na-overcome niya yung fixation na yon, nag-develop siya kasi nagpo-proceed siya sa next na level of development. Second naman is Erikson. Ang kanyang theory ay psychosocial theory. Para sa kanya, ang children nagde-develop because at a particular point in his or her life, kaya niyang labanan ang two opposing forces. Jean Piaget, cognitive development, ang sabi niya, para sa akin nagde-develop ang isang bata, simple lang kung siya ay tumatalino. And kay Lawrence Kohlberg, moral theory, para kay Kohlberg, nagde-develop ang isang bata pag alam niya ang tama at mali. Okay? And we will now discuss each of these theories basing the differences doon sa mga ages ng pedia period. Alright? So, infant, 0 to 1 year old. Toddler, 1 to 3 years old. Preschool, 3 to 6 years old. School age, 6 to 12 years old. And adolescent, 12 to 18 years old. Ngayon, may mga iba-ibang libro na magsasabing iba-iba yung mga ages, no? Lalo na pag nandun sa toddler, preschool, school age na age in years. Alright? But let us just focus on those years I mentioned kasi as we go through the ages, no, let's always think that each age, no, lalo na yung mga nasa pagitan nila, nagta-transition yung mga bata. A 1-year-old child finishes infancy and enters toddlerhood. Okay? A 3-year-old child almost finishes toddler hanggang sa mag-enter na siya ng preschool. A 6-year-old child is about to finish the preschool age and enter the school age. And the 12-year-old child is about to finish school age and enter the adolescent period. Okay? So first, let's now discuss Sigmund Freud's psychosexual theory. Isa siyang Austrian neurologist and initially, inobserve niya yung mentally disturbed adults. Alright? Ngayon, para sa kanya, ang adult behavior nagre-result from instincts, which are actually the sexual drives or libido. Pero, for children, ang child development niya is very specific, no? May sexual gratification daw na nakafocus lang sa isang specific body part. At dito nagde-develop yung id, individual, ego, reality, and superego or society. Para kay Freud, ang infant ay nasa oral phase, fixated sa oral area. Kaya lahat sinusubo. Why? Because for this child, yun yung kanyang pleasure. dun siya nag-gratify. Para sa kanya, masaya siya kapag naisusubo niya yung mga bagay. Of course, you have to develop because beyond that years, kailangan hindi na lahat ng makita mo sinusubo mo. Hindi lahat ng magpapasaya sa'yo sinusubo mo. Pero for an infant, according to Freud, nandoon yung kanyang sexual gratification. Doon siya nasa-satisfy. It makes the child healthy. It makes the child, happy. No? Happy is the correct term. Alright? Kaya, ang mga maliliit na laruan ay hindi pwede sa mga batang maliliit kasi nga lahat sinusubo nila. Aspiration. Ganon din yung mga pagkain na solid foods. Isusubo agad yan. Hindi naman yan mangunguya ng maayos, malulunok. Again, it can cause aspiration. Alright? A child will move on and develop pag na-surpass niya yung oral phase na yan. Kaya may thumb sucking, and all the other pleasurable things that a neonate or a child can show. Alright? Toddlers are in the anal phase. Dito naman, no, they are very pleasurable kasi na-appreciate na nila yung lumalabas sa kanilang anus. Okay? O kaya sa kanilang genitalia. Okay? That's why this is also the best time for toilet training. Kasi nandito yung age ng self-discovery and independence. Okay? Wiwi, pupu. Kasi na-appreciate na nila na may lumalabas na kakaiba na hindi na-appreciate ng infant. Okay? Next are the preschoolers. They're in the phallic phase. Sa preschoolers naman, very knowledgeable sila of the two sexes. Alam nila yung difference ng girl sa boy. So, minsan, bakit ang girls walang toy-toy? Bakit iba yung itsura nung kay mommy at kay daddy? No, lalo na pag nakikita niya, naliligo sila, na-appreciate niya yon. Okay, yung difference. The child already knows how it looks like, na magkaiba siya. Okay? Dito din sa age na to, they may show masturbation or exhibitionism na hindi syempre masama for them. Natural sa kanila yon, no? Pag naghubad ang isang bata, ang isang preschooler, pag binaba mo yung pants niya, hihilahin niya yung toy-toy niya, lalaruin niya yung toy-toy niya. No? Kasi meron siya nung mas nag-expand na self-discovery. Okay? Na syempre, ma-overcome ng batang yon as that child exits or finishes that preschool age. Mga hindi sila nahihiya kahit nakahubad, no? Kahit sino nakatingin doon sa bahay maghuhubad. They do not feel ashamed showing their genitalia. Kasi doon pa lang nila yon na appreciate, no? Yun yung phallic phase. Okay? School age is in the latent phase. According to Freud, kaya nga latent, no? Wala siyang specific na body part na fixation o fixated. Because the name of the age group itself says school age. Mas nakafocus sila sa school. Mas focus sila sa concrete thinking. Alright? Next, adolescent in the genital phase. Dito sa age na to, ang mga adolescents, they find new sexual aims and new love objects. So, dito minsan na-appreciate talaga yung first love, no? And then, what do I really want to become in the future, sa adolescent stage? Mas nakikita nila ano ba yung gusto nila. Okay? Next is Erikson's psychosocial theory. Si Erikson believes that a person's social view of self is more important than the instincts. Naniniwala naman siya kay Freud. Pero dito, kinonsider niya nga yung social view. Kinonsider niya ang culture. Alright? Kaya nag-come up siya with a child's age na nilalabanan yung two opposing forces sa buhay niya. So first is the infant's trust versus mistrust. According to Erikson, an infant learns to love and be loved. At sino yung mga love niya? Sino yung tinatrust niya? Siyempre, yung mga nagbibigay nga ng pleasure sa kanya. So, yung laging kumakarga sa kanya, yung laging bumubuhat, pag gutom siya, yung laging nagbibigay ng food, yung laging nagka-cuddle sa kanya, so dun siya may trust. At sino yon? The primary caregiver, which should be the mother. Okay? Kanino siya merong mistrust? Merong mistrust yung infants. No? They feel fearful and suspicious of the world and people. Kaya dito din mag-uumpisa ang stranger anxiety. So halimbawa, kuhanin sila ng taong hindi nila kilala, iiyak sila kahit naman nasa harap lang nila yung parents nila. Kahit nasa harap lang or nasa tabi lang nila yung primary caregiver nila. Bakit umiiyak pa rin sila? Because you're not the one giving me pleasure. So I mistrust you. So I cry. No? Kaya ganun yung mga infant. Okay? And this mistrust may even lead up until the toddler years. Pero definitely, dapat wala nang ganun, pag adolescent, na ayaw mong mawalay sa magulang mo. Okay? Emotional development is also very strong at this age. Dito nag-uumpisa yung social smile. No, social smile starts at 2 months. When you say social smile, yung bata na-appreciate na niya yung paligid niya at natutuwa siya. Okay? Usually, again, at 2 months of age. In the infant age also, there is improvement in the child's motor development. Gross motor and fine motor. When you say gross motor, syempre nag-uumpisa dyan yung mga large body movements, no? Infant period, maaring mag-umpisa muna yung natututong dumapa, natututong mag-crawl, natututong maupo with support, without support, natututong tumayo with support, without support, natututong maglakad with support and without support. So, mga developmental milestones yan. Yung fine motor naman, using the fingers, no? Yung mga palmar grasp, plantar grasp, hanggang sa paglaki ng bata, marunong na siya ng pincer grasp. Okay? So, nag-i-improve siya. So, merong motor development. Alright? What about language? So, they coo. Kung ano-ano yung mga first few syllables na nagsa-start, no? They cry, they laugh with sound. And then yung mga vowel sounds, nagsa-start. And then, infant din, nag-uumpisa usually yung 1 to 2 words, no? Mommy, daddy, okay? Minsan, yaya, kasi mas madalas pang kasama si yaya. So, usually 1 to 2 words. Begins by the infant period. Alright? Next is the toddler's autonomy versus shame and doubt. Sa toddler, ito yung terrible twos, 1 to 3 years old. Why? Because they are very independent now. They want independence. They build new motor and mental abilities. Okay? Motor ability. Hindi lang sila marunong maglakad, natututong tumakbo, mag-jump, mag-hop, makakita yan ng hagdan, taas-baba, taas-baba. Very, very strong yung gross motor nila. At dun sila nag-e-enjoy. Pleasure, nagpapasaya sa kanila yon, no? Lordotic gait din sila. Para silang mga bondat, no? Yung mga tummy nila nakaprotrude. Kasi nga, nagbe-build ng new motor abilities. So, natututo ng mga large body movements. No? Kailan sila nakakaramdam ng shame and doubt. No? Shame to include doubt. If the parent or an adult is impatient and they do everything for them, they will lack confidence in their abilities in the future. Alright? Halimbawa, no, please get that. Yung bata, bago makuha yon, dami mo nang nangyaring events, no? May nabangga siya, may nahulog siya, nadapa siya, something like that. I will do it, I will get it. No? So, natatakot yung mga bata. In the future, parang ayaw na nilang mag-try ng new things. Ano pa, no? Sa age na yan. Sige, pumasok ka dyan, may mumu dyan. No? Tinatakot mo yung bata. They feel shame, they feel doubt. Or dahil nga makukulit sila, laging pinapagalitan, pinapalo. So, they feel shame, they feel doubt. Okay? Or sige ka, may monster dyan. Or, mamang pulis, kunin mo na nga to. No? Yung tinatakot natin sila. Which is not correct. Because normal for them to have this autonomy. Bigyan mo ng key or susi ang isang toddler, bigay mo lang sa kanya. Hindi naman niya alam na ang susi na yon para magbukas ng door. Pero pag nakita niya yung susi na yan, hindi mo maintindihan kung bakit yung susi na yan magagawa niya ng paraan na parang ipapasok niya sa something na may butas. Okay? Kahit na hindi naman niya alam na para talaga doon yun. No? So, meron silang building of new mental abilities too. Okay? Nag-uumpisa silang mag-isip. Alright? So, both motor and mental abilities are very, very strong in this age. Kaya kapag minsan din na meron silang mga hindi na gugustuhan o madalas terrible twos. No, no, no. Ayaw, ayaw, ayaw. That's their way of assuming independence. And then, mag-temper tantrums. No? Kaya very terrible ang age na yan. Pag may temper tantrums, what's important is to make sure that the child is safe. Okay? Preschoolers initiative versus guilt. Dito, they learn how to do basic things. When you say basic things, natututong magtali ng sapatos, pero hindi perfect yung tali ng sapatos. Dito rin dapat natututong magbutones, pero maaaring ang tagal niyang magbutones or mali-mali yung pinagkakabitan niya ng butas, no, hindi pantay-pantay. Alright? Nandito din yung gustong maghugas ng plato, gustong gayahin si maming maglaba, gustong gayahin si maming magwalis. Okay? Pero hindi naman nila alam kung paano gawin ng tama. Nung bata, gustong-gusto yung mga gawaing bahay, ginagaya mo yung ginagawa ng magulang mo. Pero nung paglaki mo, ikaw na yung may ayaw. No? Well, kailan nakakaramdam ng guilt? It's how parents or how the adults respond to the self-initiative activities. Ayan kasi, ang likot-likot mo, nabasag mo tuloy yung plato. So again, anong mararamdaman ng bata? Kasalanan ko. So ayoko na ulit mag-try. No? So that's not good. Okay? Kasi very strong sa kanila yon. Physical growth, the future body type becomes apparent at this age. So, ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph. Dito mo makikita talaga yung future body type ng bata. Minsan kasi nung toddler sila, sobrang taba nila, pero by the time na nag-preschool, medyo lumiit yung katawan. So, future body type becomes prominent or apparent. School age is industry versus inferiority. So when we talk about school age, no, dito, they now learn how to do things well. Nung preschool, they learn how to do basic things. Pero dito, they learn how to do things well. Sabi ko sa preschool, marunong magtali ng sapatos, pero baka hindi pantay-pantay yung tali. Pag school age, dapat perfect na yung pagtatali ng sapatos. Sa preschool, maaaring nag-tie ng botones, pero baka hindi pa pantay-pantay yung butas dun sa button. Pero pag school age, dapat perfect na yon. Okay? Nakafocus din sila dito sa accomplishments. No? Dito yung gustong-gusto nila na kailangan magawa nila yung assignment, or ayaw mag-absent, mga ganyan. Because they might feel inferior sa kanilang classmates. Minsan gusto nila dyan, kung ano meron si classmate, meron siya. Mommy, meron ganito si ganito. Mommy, may ganito si ganyan. Mommy, sabi ni teacher ganito. Okay? So, talagang school ang focus nila. Okay? Adolescence identity versus role confusion. At this age, adolescents bring together everything they have learned about themselves. So, andito yung identity nila. Sino ba talaga sila? Kailan nagkakaroon ng confusion? When they are uncertain of what kind of person they are and they can do. And of course, this role confusion may also be affected by so many factors. Ano ba yung pinipilit ng magulang na ayaw naman ng bata? Yung peers, yung environment, yung school, yung siblings. Okay? So many factors also can affect that. Next is Jean Piaget's cognitive theory. So Swiss psychologist naman siya. Sa infant sensory motor stage, according to Jean Piaget, no, paano tumatalino ang bata? Sa kanya, ang infant may practical intelligence. When you say practical intelligence, kung ano yung magpapasaya sa akin. No? Primary and secondary circulatory reaction, which leads to object permanence. Ano ba yung primary and secondary circulatory reaction? Yung primary circulatory reaction, nung nag-thumbs up yung bata, nag-enjoy siya. It's pleasurable. So, I will repeat that. Nag-thumbs up na lang siya lagi. Okay? So, secondary circulatory reaction, may mobile na nakatapat dun sa bata. Natamaan ng kamay niya. Nung natamaan ng kamay niya yung mobile dun sa crib, tumunog, umilaw, nag-enjoy siya. So, tinatamaan na lang ulit niya kasi nag-enjoy siya dun sa nakikita niya. So, pag primary circulatory reaction, inuulit niya, nire-repeat niya yung action related to his or her body part kasi nakikita niya na may pleasure doon. Kaya nga yung katawan, thumb sucking. Yung secondary circulatory reaction, inuulit niya yung action not in relation to his or her body, but other, no? Pero dahil may pleasure, inuulit niya. Like, pinapalo niya yung mobile doon sa kanyang crib. Kasi nag-enjoy siya pag tumutunog, umiilaw. Okay? So, natututo siya. Practical intelligence. Masaya eh. For me, I like it. It's pleasurable. And then, these two, the primary and secondary circulatory reaction leads to object permanence, which means object permanence, nandyan siya. No, nandyan lang siya. Kahit hindi ko na siya nakikita, alam ko nandyan siya. So, babalikan ko siya dyan. No? May mga ganon. Alright? Dito din yung importante yung konsepto ng solitary play. Sometimes infants, no, are just enjoying themselves alone. They play. Alright? Ano yung mga concerns? Teething, nag-uumpisang tumubo yung ipin. So, sa ganitong pagkakataon, minsan yung mga bata, very irritating. Sa gums, makate, namamaga, maaring lagnatin. Pag ganon, maaring bigyan ng mga analgesics. Alright? And then, yung mga importante na binibigyan din sila ng mga makakatulong sa pagkagat, mga teethers. Alright? But make sure it's clean at hindi sila makaka-problem doon sa quality ng teether na binibigay sa kanila. Thumb sucking, no, use of pacifiers, dapat hindi laging binibigyan ng pacifier, may increase the risk of colic, kabag. Kasi kakasipsip, ang daming nasisipsip na hangin ng bata. Sleep problems. No? Infants sleep most of the time. So pag meron silang problem sa sleep, there might be a problem. No? Constipation, diarrhea. Usually constipation sa mga formula fed, excuse me, diarrhea sa mga breastfed babies. Okay? Or depende pa rin sa quality ng milk na binibigay natin. Plus, of course, everything that would be involved with cleaning the bottle tube or even the breast of the mommy. Okay? Colic, ito nga yung kabag. No? Spitting up. So, daming niluluwa, tumutulo ang mga gatas o yung mga kinakain, no? Diaper dermatitis or rashes, and miliaria o yung bungang araw, lalo na pag mainit ang panahon. Okay? So, itong mga infant concerns na ito, of course, maaaring humingi ng tulong ng pediatrician or advice ng mga pediatric nurses pag may mga ganitong concerns. Okay? Toddler and preschoolers pre-operational thought, combined pre-operational thought of toddler and preschool. Pero si toddler, no, ang description dito ni Piaget, paano sila mag-isip? Meron silang pre-logical or faulty reasoning. Ano ibig sabihin yan? Usually, they arrive at wrong conclusions. Daddy shaves every day. And after I see Daddy shaving, pupunta siya ng office. Ganun siya lagi. But now, it's a Sunday morning. Daddy shaves. So I assume, Daddy, you will go to office. Well, in fact, hindi naman. Kasi Sunday yun. So yun yung example ng mga pre-logical or faulty reasoning. What else? Na-hospital siya for the first time. May nakaputi na tao hindi niya kilala. In-injectionan siya. Ang sakit. No? Umiyak siya. The next time around, may nakita na naman siyang the same uniform, nakaputi. Kahit hindi siya i-injectionan, umiiyak na siya. Kasi para sa kanya, lahat ng nakaputing pumapasok dun sa kwarto hindi niya kilala, sinasaktan siya, ini-injectionan siya. So, yun yung mga pre-logical or faulty reasoning. No? Toddlers also do parallel play. When I say parallel play, I play here, you play there. Because I'm self-centered. Toddlers are self-centered. Nakikipag-away yan, no? Gusto niya yung laruan, kanya. Okay? So, medyo mahirap siya na makishare ng ganun kadali with other children. What about preschoolers? Ang preschoolers naman may intuitive thought. When you say intuitive thought, no, may centering. What do you see in a banana? Banana is color yellow. So, yun lang yung nade-describe niya sa banana. Pero hindi niya ma-describe that banana is also long. It's elongated, no? Meron lang siyang isang characteristic na nakikita at dun lang naka-center ang nakikita nung preschool na yan. What else? Medicine. For preschooler, medicines are all mapait. Lahat ng medicine mapait. So, yun lang yung description niya. Hindi niya nakikita na medicine will heal you. Medicine will help you para maganda ang pakiramdam. No, medicine is mapait. Di siya masarap. No? Ganon din yung wala sila nung konsepto ng conservation. What do I mean by no concept of conservation? Preschoolers have the inability to discern the truth, and preschoolers also have the inability, no, to retrace the steps. Wala sila nung concept ng conservation and reversibility. Again, when you say conservation, ability to discern the truth. When you say reversibility, ability to retrace the steps. Alright? No conservation, no reversibility. Ano yung example niyan? I have 2 jars. Okay? first jar is a thin but long jar. The second jar is a thick but short jar. Okay? So, yung isang jar, mataas na manipis. Yung isang jar, maliit na mataba. Now, A and B. Okay? And then, I have 10 marbles. Yung 10 marbles, lagay ko dito sa mataas na manipis. Another 10 marbles, ilagay ko sa mataba na maliit. Okay? Obviously, yung marble dito, natural, 10 hanggang dyan. Kasi manipis lang yung jar eh. Pero ito, yung marble, hanggang dito lang. Kasi malapad yung jar. Pero pareho naman sila na may 10 marbles. If you ask now a preschool, alin ang mas marami dito? Siyempre, ang makikita lang niya yung mas mataas na marble. 10 marble yan, 10 marble din naman to. Magkaiba lang kasi yung lalagyan nila. Pero dahil mukhang mas mataas ito, a preschool might think ito yung mas madami. Hindi niya ma-discern yung truth. Hindi rin niya ma-retrace yung step na sinabi mo kanina na pareho lang naman yun na 10 marbles. So, mahirap pa yung pre-operational thought ng isang toddler. Okay? Nandoon din, ng isang preschool. Nandoon din yung kanilang role fantasy. Ano yung role fantasy? Diyan nila naiisip na, I wanna be like Superman, I wanna be like Spider-Man, I wanna be like the Avengers, I wanna be like the Disney princess, no? Nandiyan nga yung luto-lutuan, baril-barilan, doktor-doktoran, di ba? Naglalaro sila na meron silang ginagaya. Alright? Self-centered, which means I need to be the center of attention. Kaya nga pag meron silang mga bagong kapatid, for example, sometimes preschoolers would think that mommy and daddy doesn't love me anymore. So very important if you have preschoolers in the family and you have a new family member to always include them. Because they are very self-centered. They are narcissistic. Okay? Normal sa kanila yon. Characteristic nila yon. Alright? Sila naman, anong klaseng play? Associative play. Marunong pa sila makipaglaro sa iba, but not competitive play. When you say associative play, we just play together. But there should be no competition. Kasi kapag yung laro ninyo may talo at may panalo, iiyak yung preschooler na yan. Kasi gusto niya laging siya yung panalo. Kasi self-centered nga, no? So, anong play lang dapat ang ini-incorporate natin sa kanila? Associative play. Let's play together. Alright? Ganun lang siya. Developmental milestones, words and sentences, of course, mas improved na yan. Vocabulary, mas maraming alam na salita. They know how to name body parts. No? They know their full name. And sometimes they even show up their fingers to show age. How old are you? I'm 5 years old. No? So, very active nga kasi yung kanilang gross motor, no? Very, very active sa kanila yon. Alright? Toddler concerns, again, toilet training, ritualistic behavior, paulit-ulit. No, I will not take a bath if my favorite rubber ducky is in the toilet, something like that. I will not brush my teeth kung hindi si Iron Man yung toothbrush ko, something like that. No? Negativism, ayaw, no, that's their way of assuming independence and autonomy. Okay, pero kailangan set rules, boundary, dinidiscipline, but of course, we do not hurt them. Okay, separation anxiety may also be very strong at this time. At yung temper tantrums nila, terrible twos, no? Pag nagte-temper tantrums ang bata, just be consistent in the rules. You can punish them, but the punishment should not be something na masasaktan yung bata. Okay? No child developmentalist will teach you to punish children by hurting them. Okay? How do you punish children? For example, they did something wrong. No? Nagwala sa mall. Naglupasay sa floor. No? Pagdating ng bahay, what you can do is, okay, you stand in one corner, face the wall. That's it. Pero huwag mo naman patayuin ng isang buong araw. No? So you stand in one corner, face the wall, 5 minutes, do not move. That's your punishment for not following what daddy has said. Okay? Do not hurt them. Sabi nga nila, no? Do not hurt them using your hands. No? Do not hurt them especially because these same hands are the same hands you use for holding and hugging your children. So, kung yung mga bata nakikita na ginagamit mo yung kamay mo para kurutin sila, para saktan sila, para paluin sa puwet, ito din yung ginagamit mong kamay para hawakan sila sa kamay pag tumatawid, para yakapin sila, no? So, that's the confusion in it. So, ano yung mararamdaman ng bata? Para saan yung hands ni mommy, the same hands that hurts me? Okay, so hurting physically is not in any way helpful to discipline a child. Okay? Importante lang dapat hindi sila nasasaktan. No? You can ignore children who are having temper tantrums. Ignore them. Kasi the more na pinansin mo, lalo silang nagwawala. Okay? Pero, siguruhin mo lang na safe sila. Halimbawa, nagbabang na yung head, ini-ignore mo pa din. No? Nasasaktan siya. Okay? So, just make sure the child is safe. Alright? But there are many other ways, of course, to discipline children. No? Importante din sa kanila yung, effective din sa kanila yung reward and punishment. Don't just punish, you also reward. You did very well at church today. You behaved at church today. So, as a reward, no? Ano ba ang pwedeng ibigay? So, let's eat your favorite ice cream later, something like that. Okay? Alright. Developmental milestones, language, napakahilig nilang magtanong. How and why question. Why is it like this? Why is it like that? Mommy, how is it like this? Bakit ganon? Ba't ganyan? So, ang daming tanong. Kasi, mas nag-improve yung cognition nila, no? Again, they are self-centered nga, no? Narcissistic. Kaya nga, hindi pwede na ang laro, may mananalo at may manatatalo. Kasi pag natalo sila, ayawan na. No? Imitation games, again, is very strong. So, yun nga, ginagaya nila yung mga favorite characters nila. They have imaginary friends also. Minsan makikita mo naglalaro mag-isa, pero yung laro niya parang ang dami nilang naglalaro, no? Hanggang preschool lang yun, no? Pag tumanda na siya, may imaginary friend pa din. Well, that's something different already, no? Pero very strong na may imaginary friends by this age. Group playing is okay, and again, as mentioned, associative play. Okay? Very strong din dito, emotional development, yung Electra complex and Oedipus complex. Sa Electra complex, yung batang babae, very attached sa daddy niya to a point na nagsiselos siya dun sa mommy niya. Pag Oedipus complex naman, yung batang lalaki, very attached sa mommy niya to a point na nagsiselos naman siya doon sa daddy niya. Okay, so both strong toddler and preschool age. Okay? School age, concrete operational thought. Dito, very strong ang inductive reasoning. Pag sinabing inductive reasoning, specific observation to general conclusion. Example, the teacher used PowerPoint presentation in her first day of class. Therefore, that teacher will use PowerPoint presentation in the next days too. Okay, yun yung inductive reasoning. Alright? Ganun din, no, very strong, no, adolescents' formal operation of thought, very strong na sa kanila naman yung abstract thinking. When you say abstract thinking, they are capable of thinking in terms of possibility. Kung doon sa school age, inductive reasoning, dito naman deductive reasoning. General conclusion follows a specific theory. For example, this class is intelligent. No? Matalino tong klase na to. Amy is in this class. So, Amy is intelligent. Parang ganun. No? Well, yung basic math, no, na nagsa-start nga pala yan sa school age. No? Yung basic math, marunong na kayong mag-change peso sa tindahan, marunong ka nang bumili, no? Alam mo, susuklian ka by school age. Very strong na yan. Siyempre, mas nag-i-improve ng adolescent. Formal operation of thought. Okay, let's now go to the last theories, which is Lawrence Kohlberg's moral theory. So dito, no, nag-umpisa na siya ng toddler and preschool, no, pre-convention stage. According to Kohlberg kasi, yung infant is in the pre-religious stage. Infants have very little concept of good and bad. So let's just start with the toddlers, preschoolers, pre-convention stage. Dito, they follow what is good and bad based on what parents or teachers tell them so. Okay, bakit hindi ka tatawid sa kalsada? Sabi po ni mommy. Ba't di ka lalabas ng bahay? Sabi po ni teacher, masasagasaan. Something like that, no? Very strong ang reward and punishment. Preschools have also an elemental concept of God. Okay, kilala nila si Papa Jesus. No? They start to know how to pray. Okay? But they may also tell tall tales. Ano ibig sabihin ng tall tales? Parang exaggerate things, no? Ine-exaggerate nila yung mga bagay. I saw a while ago the big fish ate the dinosaur. Something like that, no? Ang nakita lang naman niya, yung pusa kumain nung isda. Something like that. No? In-exaggerate niya yung nakita niya. Iniba niya yung kwento niya. Okay? So, these toddlers or preschoolers may do that. They may exaggerate things. Sometimes they may also show regression, especially if they feel anxious, if they feel stressed, if they are sick, if they feel unhealthy. What do you mean by regression? Biglang nag-thumbs up, hindi naman na nag-thumbs up. Biglang nagwiwi sa kama, hindi naman na yan nagwiwiwi sa kama. So, yun yung mga examples ng regression, no? Kailangan i-assess ng maigi na yun ba something emotional or mental and not really physiologic problem, lalo na yung pagbe-bedwet, no? Bakit biglang umihi ulit sa kama? Hindi naman na yan umiihi sa kama dati. So, form of regression lang ba yun? O baka talagang nagka-problem siya sa urinary tract? So, kailangan i-check. Okay? School age is conventional stage. So, dito, bakit hindi ka naman tatawid sa kalye? Kasi po masasagasaan ako. So, hindi lang dahil sinabi ni mommy or ni daddy. Ibig sabihin, alam na ng school age yung consequence sa sarili niya. Okay? Anong mangyayaring masama? Okay? Na kapag adolescent na post-conventional stage, o ba't hindi ka tatawid sa kalye? Kasi po jaywalking ako, mahuhuli ako ng batas. This time, hindi mo lang alam yung mangyayari sa'yo, pero ano yung pananagutan mo sa society? Ano yung consequence sa society? Kasi nung bata ka, ang tama at mali sa'yo, kung ano lang ang sinabi ni mommy, kung ano lang ang sinabi ni teacher. Nung medyo naging school age ka, kung ano yung makakabuti at makakasama sa'yo. Pero pag adolescent ka, kasama mo na yung society. Okay? Dito rin sa age na to, because of the so many factors no, affecting the mental development of adolescents, dito rin yung substance abuse, sex education, suicide. So, very important din talaga ang social support and family support. Okay? Uh, well, the next group of um, topics is on child health assessment.